Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Today in Slovakia. I'm in my kitchen today and I have decided to cook one of my favorite desserts, which is baklava, and I'm here to show you how it's done. So if you'll just follow me, I'm just going to show you all the ingredients that you need. Okay, so it's actually really quite easy. So I've got some stuff here that I've got from Canada. This is allspice, which is basically cinnamon and cloves. I have no idea what else goes into it though, but yeah, it's cloves, cinnamon. Oh yeah, and nutmeg. I've got some more cinnamon. I've got the lime here. And the most important thing, of course, is the phyllo dough pastry, okay, which you can buy, well, here in Bratislava, it's very difficult to buy. And I got it at a shop downtown called Orient. So if any of you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll tell you how to get there. The other stuff, though, yeah, you're going to need some butter, a little bit of honey. I've got white sugar. I've got brown sugar over here, and of course the filling. Okay, so this is some kind of, it says basically it's walnuts. Okay, so it's like a ground mixture of walnuts and sugar, and I think there might be some other stuff in it too. Yeah, it just says, oh, what does it say here? Okay, yeah, so it's basically ground walnuts. Okay, there's also some hazelnuts and some other types of nuts as well. And it's all just ground up with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of rice flour. And of course, pistachios. Okay, pistachios are what make the #1 Turkish baklava. Okay, so let's get started then here. So these are all the ingredients that you need. Okay, the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make the sauce. And in order to do that, we need lots of sugar. So I'm just going to get this thing in here right away. Okay, so that's basically about 1.5 cups. I'm also going to put a little bit of brown sugar in there too. Okay. And I'm also going to put some of this honey. I'm just going to pause it for a second while I do that. Okay, so the honey has gone in there. That lime. All right, so let's put a lot of that juice in there. So I got half a lime. Okay, I'm just going to even throw the whole thing in there. The brine, the zest of the lime also adds to the flavor. So I'll put the other half of that too. Okay, and also, yeah, of course, we need water. Now, it's going to be a syrup, so I don't want to put too much water in there. So, yeah, you can see I probably used about 2/3 of this cup. And what I'm going to do now is I've already got it on low, and I'm just going to stick it to high and find a spoon somewhere and stir this whole thing up. So we can have this nice, very thick, syrupy. It's going to be very sweet too. Actually, you know what? I am going to add a little bit more water to this. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. All right, so basically I'm going to stir this until everything dissolves, and I'm going to bring it up to a boil. And then after that, I'm going to let it simmer for about 25 minutes. And then I'm going to let the whole thing cool down. All right, so I'll be back in a moment here. Yeah, I started really enjoying baklava when I started traveling down to the Balkans, especially Macedonia. The baklava there is like really good. You can either buy like authentic Turkish baklava, or you can get the Macedonian version, which actually I like better, which is basically the same principle. But they don't use really pistachios. It's more of a walnut based. It's heavy on the syrup, so you need a knife and fork. Yeah, you need a fork, but sometimes you need a knife as well to eat it. And yeah, I find it very delicious. The Turkish stuff is fine. You can eat it with your hands. Hang on, you can see this is boiling right now. So I'm going to take that that right down low, and get off the heat for a second because I don't want it to boil over. I'm gonna give that a quick stir because I don't want anything at the bottom to burn. All right, then now I'm gonna put this back. So yeah, you can see I've got it down here to about, where are we here? So it's about 2 at the moment here. In fact, I'm going to put it just a little bit lower here. I don't really know if I want it to bubble that much. Okay, the thing is though, you don't want to boil it too long, okay? So in fact, I'm just going to let it simmer just like a wee little bit, just like it's doing right now, just over there on the edge. I might have to turn it a little bit here and there. But the reason why is if I were to boil it, basically the sugar just would crystallize, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so you want everything just to stay that kind of that sort of clearness and everything. So it will look like maple syrup, but it's not. Oh, and another thing, I did add a little bit of this here, so that's why it's got that brownish color. Okay, so while the syrup's, it's doing nicely. So while the syrup is getting ready, I've got to melt some butter, okay? So I've got pretty much one whole thing of this, okay? So it's about 250 grams. And I'm going to melt it down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify it, okay? So to have clarified butter, that basically just means that all the milk products that come out of it, the white stuff that comes to the top or the bottom, I'm just going to kind of scoop it out, okay? So I just want only like the pure yellow stuff. Okay, so all that white stuff up here, this stuff basically we want to get rid of. It doesn't take too long. So yeah, I'm just going to go scoop it all out as much as possible. I can always clarify some more butter later if I need it. Yeah, that's all I'm doing here. Alright, so I've got everything pretty much scooped out. I put everything in here. That's just going to solidify, and I'll probably spread it on a sandwich later. This, I would say, is pretty much done. So I've had it simmering, and I'm just going to turn it off. And what I really want to do is I'm going to let it cool actually by the window. So I'm just going to put it on pause. Okay, so I've got my towel set up, and I'm just going to leave it right here. I've got a fully open window. Look at that day out there. Man, it's gorgeous, but it's really, really hot outside. Probably not the best day for baking or anything. And so I'm just going to let this sit here and cool, and once it gets cool enough, I'm probably going to transfer it to the fridge. The great thing is that, the best thing is that you want it to be kind of cold. It'll get a little bit, a little more solid and everything, a little more syrupy. And then you're going to spread it onto the baklava as soon as the baklava comes out of the oven. Hopefully no bees or flies, show up and, get caught in it in the meantime, but I'll keep an eye on it. All right, now over here, I've got my ground walnut, that bag. I've already thrown it out though, but it's already got a little bit of sugar inside it. And I've already peeled some pistachios. So this is probably about, half of the amount of this little bag here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crush these down just with a fork. And you can see how they break up really nicely. And then I'm going to add all of this into that. Okay, so I've got everything in there. And all I have to do is just mix it up a bit. And so it's going to come out like that then. In Turkey, this would all just be the pistachios. It wouldn't put any walnut in it. And in the Balkans, it would probably just be mostly walnut, but it wouldn't be that fine grind. It would just be straight up, like pieces of crushed walnut. So anyway, so this is, these are the flavors that I like when I eat a baklava. This is kind of my version of it. And it's already got some sugar and stuff in it. It's also got, like I said, there's all that walnut mix already has a few other nuts into it, like the hazelnut. So that gives, it just adds to the flavor. Okay, so with pretty much got everything ready. So the next thing basically we got to do is we got to, open up this phyllo dough pastry. And basically we're going to layer everything, and I'll show you how that's done. Basically you layer it, you put one layer, you put butter on it, another layer butter, and you go up to about 16 layers, and then you add the filling, and then the rest of the stuff you just keep layering and layering, and then we put it in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to grease up the pan. You can use any pan. It can be round, it can be a lasagna tin or something like that. The only thing is that you might have to cut the the sheets of the phyllo dough. So anyway, so let's get started here. So I'm going to get this thing open. Okay, so I kind of tore the first sheet. The rest of them are all intact and everything. But that's okay though. If you tear it, that's not a problem. Okay, all you have to do is just kind of layer it up a bit. And then take that clarified butter, and once more you got to spread it all over, the whole thing. So don't miss any spot. The key ingredient here, well, they're all key ingredients, but yeah, butter is definitely paramount. Okay, and basically all you have to do is just like keep layering it, okay? And so put this one here. It's kind of, it all flattens out, doesn't really matter, so you can put it on like that. Okay, yeah, these sheets here were a little bit big for my pan, so I do have to kind of cut them in half here. As you can see, I've been doing with the scissors. And now that that's done, I take my brush, and again, every layer gets slathered in butter. Alright, so I am halfway through all the, all my sheets of the phyllo dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add all of this. Ooh, that's, yeah. Okay, so here, so I'll just throw it all on top, and I'm just going to spread it all out. Let's get in there. Yeah, this is where I really need to buy a tripod. Hang on a second here, I'm going to put it on pause. Okay, let's see if I can get kind of coordinated here. So, ooh, yeah, this is going to be really good. Yum. Pistachios are amazing. Okay, so basically kind of just spread it out as much as you can. Some people make more layers. I find just do the 16 layers on the bottom, a layer of the filling, and 16 layers on top, and you're pretty much good to go. Okay, so now that this is ready, I have to actually cut it. And again, I can't really do it with two hands, but get like a sharp kind of knife like this. Sharper the better, definitely. And you're going to cut it actually kind of into diagonal. And so you're going to get these kind of like diamond shapes. So I'm just going to do that now, put it on pause, and when I come back, it'll be done. All right, so yeah, so I've cut everything up. My diamonds didn't quite turn out, so I got a little bit confused. Well, that happens at my age. And so I've got all these triangles going. So what I've done, I put this thing on about 15 minutes ago, and I've got it somewhere around 170, 175, okay? And I'm just going to stick it into the middle rack here. And so I'm going to let this cook for about 25 minutes, but I'm going to check it periodically. All right, so this is fairly cool. It's still kind of warm and everything, but I really wanted to have it a little bit colder, and it's just going to get nice and thick. So I'm just going to stick it here into the fridge. And yeah, okay, well, time to clean up. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm just going to check. Ooh, it's looking really good. This is really nice. Okay, so I've got it at, yeah, it's just over 150. This is centigrade, by the way, so that's probably just around 325 degrees. I'm just going to take it a little bit lower and just leave it like that for a little while. Mm-hmm. Whoa, did not want to do that. That's all right now. Okay, so when you make Turkish coffee, yeah, try to avoid doing something like that. That's just my own stupidity. But you've got to cook it actually 3 times, okay? Or I should say boil it 3 times. And I'm just going to be a little more careful and hold it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, in Istanbul, or actually all over Turkey, this would be done over hot coals. Okay, so now I've done that 3 times. I'm going to turn this off. Give this a little bit of a mix. And yeah, let all the grounds go down to the bottom, and then I'm going to pour it. Okay, so here's my special coffee cup, and you can see the Islamic star, or even the symbol of Turkey. And with this, hang on, I'm just going to get rid of that spoon. Pour it easier. And all you need to do is just pour it in like that. And I'm going to have it black. Normally with Turkish coffee, you don't add any milk, but you can add loads of sugar. But I don't really like sweetening my coffee. And I'm just going to let that sit. Okay, and while I am here, I'm going to check on our baklava one last time. It is looking lovely. Look at that. Golden. It's puffing up everything. Beautiful. Oh, that is so nice. Oh, that tastes so good. Oh, it's a little bit hot still, so I'm just going to let that cool a bit. Oh, I can't wait for that baklava now. Okay, so my baklava, oh yeah, that's ready. So that's been in there for 25 minutes, and I'm going to try to get this thing out without burning myself. Yeah, that looks really, really beautiful. You can see some bubbling over there, okay, and that's a good sign. Okay, yeah, the top layers look really good. So if the top, well, if you take a look over here, like at this one here, all of these layers are nice and puffed up. Nothing got burned or anything like that. And so that's a good sign. So if those 16 layers that I have on top look like that, there's a really good possibility that those bottom layers are going to be just the same. So I'm going to take this out right now. Okay, so I did say with that sauce, so if we just go over here to the fridge, I'm just going to take it out. And it's nice and cool right now. One thing actually I totally forgot was to add a lot more cinnamon and clove to that mix. But if that ever happens, don't panic, because you can still add it to your sauce. Okay, so here's the sauce. So you can see that some of the cinnamon's on the bottom here. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit more. And because this baklava is really hot, we are, you know what, I'm going to take these lemons out first, or I'm sorry, the limes. And get rid of those because it's not going to be very helpful with my pouring. Oh, the smell is just unbelievable. All right, I'll leave the spoon in like that. And so basically, you just have to kind of pour it a little bit at a time. There we go, like so. All throughout, look at every little crack. And you do it while it's hot. It's not going to destroy it or anything like that. I don't know if I've got... Oh yeah, that's beautiful. There we go. Alright, I think I have put enough in it for now. And what I'm going to do is, let me set this down. Yeah, oh, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to lift it a little bit. And I'm just going to make sure all of that sauce is going around nice and evenly. Now in a second, this pan is still a wee bit hot. There we go. Okay. So, you can see the sauce all over this. This is great. And I am just going to sort of tilt it to the left, to the right, back and forward for a little bit, until all that sauce goes into all those little grooves, all the little nooks and crannies, and so every piece is good. It's just going to have a little bit of that sauce. can even throw some in there because I don't think I got too much in there. Wow, this is just beautiful. Okay, so now you might think that I'm making it very soggy, but hopefully, sometimes that happens too. And the reason why I clarify the butter is so that those layers, especially the bottom layers, stay crispy the whole time. So even after I add the sauce to it, it'll stay crispy. Okay, so I've left this much syrup, so I've poured about half of it on it right now. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer it over to our windowsill. I'm going to let it cool down, and then I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to add the remainder of our sauce to it. So let's put it right up over here. Oh yeah, and that's just going to sit there and cool for a while. Okay, so that's been cooling for about 10 minutes. It looks just amazing. The smell is unbelievable. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to bring it over here into the light. Okay, so you can see all my pistachios, all the layers, the honey sauce, everything. I'm just going to take it into the living room and just eat these two pieces right now. All right. So in front of me, you can see these are my coffee sets. This one's from Istanbul. This one I got from Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Oh, that just listen to that. It's just crackling and everything. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez, I love it. Okay, so yeah, I probably do need a knife. No, maybe not. Hang on. It's just not getting. Go. Okay. Oh, forget it. You know what? I'm just gonna go in and use my hands on this one here. Oh, look at that. Oh, just beautiful. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching my tutorial, I guess, on making baklava if you live in Eastern Europe. But you can do this easily anywhere in the world. Just you can buy the filo dough pastry at any supermarket. It's found in the frozen section. I showed you all the ingredients that you need, and this is just one of the most amazing desserts that you can have either with coffee or tea after any meal. It's for me, it's like the butter tart of the Middle East. You know, it's just wonderful. I just enjoy making it. So, anyways, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you all next week. I've got some plans for the rest of the day. Talk to you guys later. Oh my God. Holy moly.